Yep, you guessed it. Contest time. All right, so Aaron Mute Alamere is having a contest. So I guess there has been some, there's always a little bit of not controversy, but I guess there's been some comments about VCLT. There are some people that don't like watching VCLT or contest videos for that matter, just because I guess of what the connotations behind them. VCLT videos can kind of be braggy. Some may feel it could, I don't know, be misconstrued. Some people just don't like them, so they'd rather just see the stuff. So Aaron is doing a contest because he likes VCLT. He gives a lot, and so he's doing a contest surrounding VCLT with the intent of showing that he's all for it. He's not one of those people that doesn't appreciate seeing those videos. He loves watching them. And I admit, I am like that. Now, it's, to me, vinyl community love train. It's all about love, right? So, to me, I'm seeing how other people care enough to go out of their way to send somebody something, not just something random, not usually. It's usually something that they feel there's a reason behind why they would send to that person. That means that they've spent some time watching the likes and dislikes of that other person. And then they send them something that is relevant to them. That takes a little bit of time and effort and thought. And so I appreciate seeing that. I appreciate seeing the love. Now, there are people in the vinyl community that have done videos on how much drama and snobbery and, just negative comments that people do. And I honestly have been now doing videos for 2.5 years, more than 2.5 years, and have never run into that, thankfully. I have never run into that. But I hear the horror stories of people who have, and it really saddens me, because to me, the VC is all about love. We love music. We love what we listen to enough to want to tell people about it. Whether people watch us or not, we're sharing our love of music and our bands and bands that maybe other people don't know about. And it's just, to me, we're just sharing. What is there not to like? What is there to be angry about? What is there to be snobbish over? I know it tends to be, you shouldn't be listening to a Crosley, record player. It's going to screw your records up. I know there's a lot of that. And a lot of that is aimed towards a younger audience. But anyway, so VCLT, people who don't like it, it's just another one of those things that maybe some people, hopefully they're not very vocal about, hey, you shouldn't show that because you're stupid and I hate that, blah, blah, blah. But, so there are some issues. And so I haven't run across it, thankfully. I haven't run across any of the negative comments. To me, the VC is all about sharing and love. And VCLT is all about love. It's about showing and passing on the love to others. So enough of that rambling on. I'm going to show some of the VCLT that I've received in my short time in the VC. First, I'm going to start off with what stuff Aaron has actually sent to me. So way back when he first started, now I want to say it might have even been the first Tipsy Tuesday video he made. It was one of the early ones. He was playing in the background this band, and I kept thinking, wow, that sounds really awesome. And I commented, I said, I don't know who that band is. I've never heard of them. They're from the 90s. They sound awesome. Well, it's the Four Horsemen, and so he turns around and sends me a copy of it on CD. And it's some great stuff. It's just gritty, and it was so cool. So, yeah, this was the first stuff that Aaron sent me VCLT-wise. Now, then he was at one of his Tipsy Tuesdays. He's playing, of course, that band. I think that he might have mentioned them once or twice. That band, I think he likes them. Clutch. Isn't that one of those bands I think he likes? Yeah, maybe. Anyway, yeah. So he was playing one of them, and I'm like, I ignored Clutch because they were an alternative band from the 90s, and I hated all those bands. And I said, but the stuff you're playing, there's no way that can be. That's got to be a fluke. That can't be what they sound like. He says, well, they change sound quite often, but that is what they sound like. And I'm like, wow, I'm impressed. And so out of the blue, he sends me a Clutch. It's a DVD concert. and said check them out, and he suggested some other things, and he said just check them out and see if you like them, because he's always promoting Clutch. And if you've watched any of the recent VCLT videos from all of his friends in the VC, he's been sending everybody Clutch albums. Now he sent me this, I checked it out. Now this is from the earlier on period, and so the style was a little different than the stuff that was later that I was listening to. So this was a little about what I kind of thought they might have sounded like. It was a little less on the hard edge side, but still it was great stuff. I appreciated this, and I am on the lookout. There is a store in town that has some Clutch albums, and they have the one that he was playing on that day that I have checked out online, that I probably will eventually pick up once I stop buying the other counterfeit stuff that store carries. But anyway, yeah, so Clutch. So those are the two things that Aaron said. Now, then beyond that, the most recent VCLT that I received, did a video just a couple, I don't know, a week or two ago, was what came from JC over at Flipside. He sent me this out of the blue. He said I commented on one of his videos about needing it, which is true, because it was one of those ones on Record Store Day that I had bought too much on Record Store Day, and so I didn't buy this, and then I kept going back to the store and I kept picking it up, and but it was a little out of my price range that day, and then out of my price range this day, and I just kept passing off. Now the funny thing was, I received this from JC early in the week, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. I had picked this up on Friday at the record store that I was at, and again contemplated buying it. I'm glad I didn't, but it was just, again, it was kind of like a little more costly at the time than I wanted. But yes, so out of the blue I get this, and I was like, wow, totally, was surprised that he remembered that I said that a long time ago. So yeah, the Frank Marino, this is from Record Store Day a couple months ago, straight great stuff. Now this I would say is probably the first VCLT I received that was actually a brand new sealed album. There are obviously different types. A lot of times VCLT is people passing on, hey, I've got a double of that, or hey, I've got an extra, or I found an extra copy. Okay, I'll take back. That was not the first sealed one I got. That was actually the second. But what I'm saying is, there is people who will actually go out and buy or have a sealed copy of something. They send you this brand new, or they have found something used. They have an extra copy or something, and that's what I see the most of, is the, hey, I've got an extra copy in great condition. Do you want it? So actually, one of the first pieces that I got that was actually still sealed, that was brand new, was when Marty over at Puddle Glum sent me this sealed copy. He told me the story of how he ended up with an extra copy or two. And so he's like, do you have it? And I'm like, no, I don't. It's on my, one of those things. It's the 3 record set. So anyway, he sent it to me, and I was blown away. It's brand new, and I'm like, wow, it's like one of the new Rush box sets. So yes, like I said, so there's people who send new stuff for various reasons, whether they went out and bought it for you, whether they had an extra copy, and then there's the people who send you extras, which is, like I say, what is most common that I've seen. And that leads me to the last piece that I'm going to show here. This was from Steve over at Harmless Rebel. I commented on a video, I forget, some video, something about it. He says, well, do you need the Heavy Petting album? And I'm like, well, yes, I do. And he said, well, I've got an extra copy. I'll send it to you. And so he did. So Letting Loose, Heavy Petting, so again, this was one he had an extra copy of. It's in great condition. And so that's the kind of stuff that people do. And I've done it before too. I've had extra copies. I'll go to the thrift store, or not a thrift store, but like some other store, and I'm seeing something. Sometimes it is a thrift store. Hey, these are in great condition, but I've already got them. I've actually bought some in thrift stores that were brand new, still sealed, and I'm like, I already have that, but I think I know somebody that might like it, and then you buy it, and you check it out, and you send it on. So it happens. The love is there. Now, I do have some other VCLT that I've received, but it's too much to show. Steve over at Value Vinyl has sent me at least 2 fairly large shipments of VCLT in the past couple years. One of them was a handful of albums, maybe half a dozen or so. Again, he had acquired a big collection, and we went through and were able to pick out stuff that we wanted. He sent that. Second time was more recently. And actually, if you go to my playlist, I have a playlist entitled VCLT, and it shows not only people opening VCLT from me, but also all the VCLT videos that I've made from people sending stuff to me. So if you go back and look at the ones from Value Vinyl, He sent one not too long ago where he sent a bunch of people boxes. He had acquired this large collection. And it was just a bunch of randomness. He called it could be garbage, it could be good. He doesn't know. It was a lot of extras. 10 pounds of records. Most everything in there I was able to clean up and give a new home. And so Steve at Value Vinyl has been the largest contributor to my collection when it comes to VCLT. And it's just been great secondhand stuff. Filled in a lot of gaps of stuff that I really wanted. Everything from Billy Joel, Pat Benatar, Peter Frampton, Saturday Night Fever, all kinds of bands, just tons of stuff. So, yes, I'm all in favor of VCLT. I love watching people get it. I love seeing the love. It's all about the love. And hopefully you'll love it too. Aaron, that's it for this one, though. Thanks for having this contest. Congrats on everything and all the VCLT love that we see going around. I will see you later. Rock on, rock hard.